Alright, so we're here for day 5 of my daily Slay the Spire challenge. This is a personal challenge I gave myself. If this is your first time tuning in, the rules are very simple. I'm playing one run of Slay the Spire every day between 5 days ago and the release of Slay the Spire 2 sometime in March. I've never gotten to Ascension 20, which is the highest difficulty on this game with any character. I also haven't played in about a year or two before this. So the goal here is to see if I can get on a fresh save any or all characters to Ascension 20 in that time frame, playing just one run per day. So far we are 4-0, but that's not going to last forever. Our first run with the Ironclad was successful, and then we've had 3 straight runs climbing up to Ascension 1 and 2 successfully with the Silent, and I'm going to keep running with a good thing. We'll probably keep pushing with Silent until we lose, and then maybe even then some, because I really like Silent and it seems to be clicking for us right now. So let's see what we can't do with the Silent today. All right, so we can choose a card, obtain a random common relic, lose all gold to choose a rare card to obtain, or obtain a random boss relic but lose our starting relic. I think a random common relic is probably a good place to start here. We get Anchor, start each combat with 10 block, which is actually extremely helpful on floor 1. So now let's take a look at our paths. First elite fight on the right would be up there, whereas here we can take a shop before we do it. This gets a couple of events, but we'd be light on cards. 4 straight combats right off the bat is a little tricky, but that's probably what we're going to try and do. All right, 10 block thrown up means that 1 defend blocks it all here. Then we can strike. Actually, I threw it at the wrong guy because he had armor up. First misplay of the day on our very first turn. How wonderful, right? Okay, neutralize. Strike takes care of him. Strike the guy in the back. Looks like we're probably not going to get punished for that misplay. We do gain 2 weak, which is unfortunate, but the survivor is full block. We'll get rid of the defend because we are full block. Neutralize, strike. Hey, that takes care of him. All right, distilled chaos is our first potion. I think Cloak and Dagger is probably our best bet here. It's not a wonderful card, but we need to get some cards. All right, so Cloak and Dagger helps us out already. I mean, we had the 10 block, but that gets us up past it. And we get to keep on the offensive. All right, take that, Jawworm. All right, so this is just strike. Can't quite get through. We probably should throw up a block. All right, 3 damage. That's just a chip shot. All right, Jawworm defeated. We get a fire potion. It's too early for a catalyst, not knowing that we'll get any poison. Dodge and roll is not really going to do it for us. We'll go with a piercing wail. Would love to get some offensive cards here though soon. All right, so we're piercing wail to knock that down below our block threshold. It's Cloak and Dagger. Shiv him. Make him weak. Survivor. Discard the defend. Strike. Three strike hand would have gotten us there. I'm just gonna use the fire potion. All right, Predator, deal 15 damage. Next turn, draw 2 additional cards. That's pretty good. It's 1 positive on card draw if you think about it, but it's also better than playing 2 strikes. Sucker Punch, 7 damage, apply 1 weak. Slice, 6 damage for free. I think Predator is probably the choice here. Probably ought to take a combat, because again, I think we just simply need cards here. And by that, I mean good cards. See a whole hand of defensive cards right now. That helps nothing. All right, in the turn. All right, we got to neutralize, strike. We got to take one of them out. Then he's got 28 health. We know what the 3 cards in here would be. This is actually a good time for Distilled Chaos. That gives us a little bit of block here and sets us up for the kill next turn. We're burning through potions early, but our deck's got nothing good, so... All right, Dagger Throw is a card that I'll gladly take. All right, let's take a look at cards. Bane is probably not a good deal right now. Poison Stab. There's nothing to copy with Nightmare, so that just takes up room in our deck right now. Footwork, not a good card. Down here we can afford Lantern. That gives us an extra energy on turn 1. Or we could card remove. I think Lantern probably helps us go a little faster on floor 1 here. All right, now our first elite today is these guys. Probably the ones I at least wanted to see. At least our 10 block on turn 1 from the anchor takes care of turn 1. Let's get our Shiv. Draw and discard. Let's discard the strike. Okay, that's actually a really good turn 1. That sets us up to potentially take out the front sentry next turn. All right, yeah, 2 strikes takes care of him. Neutralize brings, he's got the artifact, so unfortunately that just absorbs. Then we can Survivor to block most of that damage. It's probably just got to be Predator Defend, right? Absolutely. We're gonna start to take some damage every turn here and limp through this fight. I'm just playing it forward in my head, and I think as long as we don't get too overloaded with dazes, we should be able to kind of handle it. Defend, strike. Problem is going to be all of those days that they're shuffling into our deck, because we are simply moving a little too slow right now. So let's do this and get our Shiv. Dagger throw, discard a Dazed. Strike, so now we're at least down to 1. Of course, we get an all defense hand on a turn that he's not attacking. Hitting troubles early tonight. Strike, strike, defend, because we got to keep damage on, or else we're never going to get through him. Now we're at least in a territory where Predator gets rid of about half of his health, and then like a dagger throw strike sort of thing could get him the rest of the way. So neutralize, dagger throw, discard a Dazed, strike. And now he's within range for Predator to kill. Predator is coming up in our hand. Okay, not terrible actually. And we get War Paint, upgrades 2 random skills, which hits Defend and Piercing Wail. I'm fine with both of those. These are all good choices here. The real question is Blade Dance or Glass Knife. Blade Dance is 12 damage for 1, upgraded becomes 16 for 1. This is 16 for 1, upgraded is more than that, but it starts to decrease. I think probably Glass Knife fits our deck better here, at least as far as what we need. I'm going to rest. Now, what do we get here? Knob? No, we get Legavulin. I think I honestly would have preferred to see Knob. I think we're fairly well equipped for him. Dagger throw, get rid of that. Strike, strike, strike. That extra energy on turn 1 is very helpful. All right, neutralize makes that a little easier. Survivor, discard the defend, cloak and dagger. Now we actually have close to a full block. All right, Piercing Wail makes him way easier to deal with. Now the question is, do we take 12 to get Predator off this turn, or do we throw this up to get a little bit of block? I think at this point probably throw that up to get a little bit of block. Hate to miss on Predator since that's our big damage dealer right now. All right, he's halfway down though. Okay, this is not a great hand. Okay, Glass Knife comes in clutch here though. It's probably not worth it to preserve 4 health here. We're gonna take a big whack. But we need to make sure we do kill him. All right, that's 6, 8. It's gonna be really close. We'll get him. We're just seeing better days as far as our HP. All right, white beast statue potions always appear in combat rewards. That's huge. Liquid bronze. Sneaky strike, but our only real discard engine so far is survivor. So probably backflip. We got to play around that elite. I simply don't think that with 30 health we should be playing into an elite right now. We get a mummified hand whenever we play a power card. A random card in our hand costs 0 that turn. This helps us none at all at the moment, but there are at least some good powers in the silent card pool. Like an after image would be really nice to see. All right, so that's 16 damage. 22. Okay, so we can at least take care of the guy in front. Dagger throw. Get rid of the defend. Now we can cloak and dagger. Use our shiv to finish him. Throw one of the strikes at the looter. That actually does get us full block. Survivor Predator. Yeah. Get rid of the strike. Throw Predator down. Now we've got extra energy to work with next turn. Or cards. Extra cards to work with next turn. Alright, start with neutralize. Piercing Whale. I think Cloak and Dagger makes more sense than Strike here, even though it's a little bit less damage, because throwing that block up keeps us from taking any damage, and we should get the kill this turn. Yeah. Alright, so that was a lot better than the elite combat that we just suffered through. Essence of Steel is not bad. And we've just had like the worst card rewards today. Is it Poison Stab? It's got to be Poison Stab. All right, we'll take the free heal here without a doubt. All right, let's Predator, Dagger Throw, Strike. And now we get through him on the first turn at least. Poison kills. Cool. Finally a good fight. A skill potion. Now we need to think about using one of our potions pretty much every battle to rotate through for good ones. Another Cloak and Dagger, probably not. Another Dagger Throw I will gladly take though. Now we get another shop even though we don't have a ton of gold. Let's see what we can find. Okay, cheap die. Yeah, easily that's the ticket here. Alright, that's like the first lucky thing we've had happen this whole time. I'm just gonna leave this shit alone. Like, I feel like we're lucky to have made it to the boss at this point. It's Slime Boss, who should be pretty manageable, especially resting going into it, so we've got full health. Feel really bad not having done any upgrades and having dodged an elite. But again, our card pool's just been miserable tonight, so Being here at all, we'll take what we can get. Let's not screw around with potions yet until we figure out which the best one to do is. Die probably makes sense to hold until after a split, unless it makes sense to play him at a certain point in time before that. Let's backflip. Strike, I guess. Yeah, we'll have to go with that. He slimes us right off the bat. Now, what is it he getting ready to do now? Reacquainting myself with all the bosses again after so long off of playing this game has been one of the bigger challenges. Alright, so neutralize, poison stab is clearly all we can really do here. Yeah, in turn. Alright, 35, that's big. Let's use the skill potion first. Go ahead and make it deadly poison. He's gonna hit us hard here. We're only gonna be able to throw up 5 block plus 4 plated armor. Dagger throw predator. Yeah, that's gotta be the ticket. He splits. I mean, that saves us the hit, but now we've got like the highest health you could possibly have on these guys. We've pretty much got that same damage coming at us now as last turn. Let's go ahead and burn the other potion. Every bit of damage is gonna help us survive this nonsense. 3 damage, 3 energy to work with. Last knife is only hitting for 12 now. I think I'll actually cloak and dagger. Then predator. It's a little bit less damage, but we get a little bit of block up. Alright, so this here hurts. Lots of options. I think I'm gonna start with Survivor. Discard slime. We'll see if that was the correct play or not. Not at all. I was not thinking about them splitting right away off of the poison. Well, shoot. I've misplayed this fight about every which way possible so far. Let's neutralize you. Strike. Still save Piercing Wail. There's going to be more useful moments for that. We can exhaust the slime. These die is coming back around. Yeah, probably backflip draws us into die. Now we can strike him. Die kills the... No, it doesn't kill the front slime still. We're weak is the problem. We're extremely weak. Alright, we gotta get rid of him. They're threatening 28 damage. There might not be many ways out of this. At least we blocked 10 of it. Let's get poison stab on you. Health left. That's 8. I don't know. All right, that's gonna be a full block with our plated armor at least. Dagger throw. Discard a slime. Strike. He splits at 35. We might be able to split him out of an attack, or split him out of licking us at least. Yeah, Predator. Dagger throw. Gets us a split at 21. We get piercing well? We can. Oh, we didn't have plated armor anymore. That ticks down each turn, I guess, so. All right, 7 damage I think we can come up with, right? Get some poison on you. He's threatening 12, we have 6 life. Oh, we can defend. The 4 damage. The poison's going to take him down to 5. Plus, he's also going to take Thorns damage here. Oh my god. Do I deserve to win that fight? No. Did I win it? Yes. Wraith form or after image? Probably Wraith form. Empty cage, remove 2 cards. Philosopher's Stone, gain energy at the start of your turn. All enemies start combat with 1 strength. That's not too bad. Or Coffee Dripper. We're not doing a Coffee Dripper run with as weak as this deck is. Ironclad, I love Coffee Dripper. Silent, I'm probably not quite good enough to play with Coffee Dripper. So let's go with Philosopher's Stone. It's going to add a little bit of damage to everything, but we're going to be able to do so much more. Okay, now what do we do? Kind of want to avoid early shops here because we don't have a ton of gold, so that means we're starting over here. Die would have been awesome to draw into turn 1 here, but we've got some card draw opportunities to get to it still. So we didn't, but let's go ahead and Predator you should knock you down, and Glass Knife to you I think will not quite knock you down. Go ahead and burn the power potion. Let's take free Wraith form. That should last us until our next Wraith form comes around. That'll get us a free turn of intangible here. Can go all out on offense. Okay, yeah, here's die, die, die. It's huge. So let's put that on you, probably. Or should we put it on you? I think you. So you're gonna be sticking around the longest? No, I should have gone on the front guy. At least on the lower half of Ascensions, you can get away with suboptimal play sometimes, as I'm clearly evidencing on this run. All right, 3 energy to deal with. Probably backflip. Then strike him. And strike him. Yeah, that's fine. I'm gonna take 3 here, but I can definitely live with that. All right, glass knife deals 12. That deals 6, so we gotta use the glass knife on you, unfortunately. As well as the strike. We can survivor, discard the normal defend, play the defend plus. He's gonna break through for 4 more. Birds can be tricky. We get rid of the defend. Now just strike, poison stab. And we're set up probably for the kill next turn. It's 9 damage plus the poison. So yeah, we're good. Plus we can just do it now with Predator. Alright, Ancient Potion. Add a card to our deck. Crippling Cloud. Apply 7 poison and 2 weak to all enemies. Exhaust. Yeah, probably Crippling Cloud here. Alright, Council of Ghosts. No, we're not going to mess around with apparitions. Probably going to save for this later shop. I think I'm going to cut over here to one more event and then kind of push up towards that elite, as long as that regular enemy doesn't wreck us in the meantime. I think it's probably worth this, even if we did get the Writhes, but we can play around Writhes pretty easily with this deck. And then whenever we obtain a curse, increase your max HP by 6, which actually kicks in with that one. Alright, so this asshole has a lot of block, a lot of artifact. We start with Dagger Throw. Get rid of that dude. We're gonna backflip simply for card draw. Get the poison working on him, except not, because it's the artifact, but that takes 2 stacks of artifact off of him. So that's fine too. And then I guess just a strike, right? Alright, neutralize, defend plus, predator, die, die, die. Alright, the question is this a piercing whale turn or a wraith form turn? Probably piercing whale. Brings that down to 8, which gets blocked by a survivor. And discard to defend. Dagger throw. Draws into glass knife, which is a better play for us here. All right, we're finally through his armor. Okay, cool. Attack potion. We get a choice between Blade Dance, Poison Stab, or Flying Knee. This is the time to take a Blade Dance, finally. And yeah, let's push towards the elite. We're gonna need some relics if we're gonna actually push through to the top of the spire on this one, so. That's a shop. We got Hand Drill. Whenever you break an enemy's block, apply 2 vulnerable. No, I'm not really feeling that. Dagger Spray. Can we afford both of those? What's 137 plus 27? No, not quite. So that's a bummer. We could probably do Dagger Spray and then remove a strike. That seems like a decent shop. Not who I wanted to see. It's a decent turn 1 against him, though. We get that poison starting to go off. All right, 6 times 3 is 18. Let's use the attack potion. Whatever this is free. Do we want a free 21 damage or a free 15 damage with 2 card draw next turn? Probably just more damage outright. We're gonna Cloak and Dagger for a little bit of block. Glass Knife. Bench Strike. Alright, so we took like 7 there. He tosses a couple of wounds into our discard pile. 18. Book of Stabbing sucks. I think we're gonna Dagger Throw first for the card draw aspect of this. Gonna get rid of a defend. Guess that to get the poison stacked up a little higher. Then Die is a little more damage than Blade Dance. 10 plus at least makes it to where we're only taking 10 from this hit. Eight times 4, that's 48, but Wraith Form comes in to save us. That takes him down to 25. All right, Predator, backflip, Dagger Throw. Now we made it through Book of Stabbing. Get Juzu Bracelet. Normal enemy combats are no longer encountered in question mark rooms. That's cool. A Poison Potion. That's potentially helpful for us. And now, what do we want? Crippling Cloud, Finisher, Tactician. We could probably have one Finisher in our deck. We've got some cheap attacks. This has to be another rest. All right, Purifier. Before you lies an elaborate shrine to a forgotten spirit. We can remove a card from our deck. Probably a strike, maybe a defend. I think I'm gonna go with the strike. So we've got a lot of things that are like strikes, but better than strikes. Let's do this and push up into the next two events, knowing they're not gonna be enemies. Gambling chip, that's wonderful. We get to set up our opening hand. And now we get a free relic at the start of your second turn, gain 14 block. So we get a free 10 block on turn 1, a free 14 block on turn 2. We've got Wraithform in our deck. We've got Piercing Wail in our deck. So we've got lots of survivability. We're just struggling a little bit on the offensive end of things. This is going to be event, enemy, elite. Probably. Oh gosh, what does the Cursed Tome do? I'm sorry, y'all. Well, I once upon a time knew what this did. I'm gonna look up what it does real quick. Anyone wants to call that cheating or something, I don't care. I want to make an intelligent decision here. In most runs, it's never a problem whether taking the book is worth it. It almost always is. Okay. So we lose 3, 6, 16 to get the book. Okay, the first attack played each turn that costs 2 or more is played twice. And we get the curse, but that raises our max HP. Okay, we'll go with it. Feeling a little less confident about the choice to play into the elite with that hit to our health, but let's just see what's up here versus the regular enemy. Let's get rid of that dude. Piercing Wail takes his stuff down to 0, I think. Die is helpful. Defend is not. Poison Stab is not. Let's just do that. All right, so we do need a Piercing Wail. Takes his attack down to 0. Now we can die. Strike. Gonna go ahead and throw the poison potion at bro and back there, and we're good. All right, glass knife, dagger spray, crippling cloud. Yeah, that's definitely right. So we block that. Poison takes the front guy next turn, so we don't have to worry about him at all. Neutralize you. So he's gonna hit us for, or nope. That Necronomicon kicked in, made extra damage. So yeah, poison does the job for us. Yes. Cunning potion, fun. Dagger spray plus, absolutely. We're gonna play towards the elite. These aren't the two I necessarily wanted to see, though. Let's just get a whole new hand here. Honestly, that hand sucked. I like this much better. Ooh, we have up here? Okay. So we're gonna take some damage here. We're looking at 15 right now that we have unblocked. But can we get 50 damage off on her and back is the question. Necronomicon says what now? First attack played each turn that costs 2 or more is played twice. So Predator would be played twice. That would be 30 damage to her. Now 9 plus 9. Okay, yeah. Draw a card. Discard a card. Okay, she's gone at least. We're gonna take 5. $24, huh? Let's neutralize. Blast knife. Do I need to Wraith form? That's the question. That would be 12. No, watch this. Dagger spray. Blade dance. Throw some shivs at his face. Hell yeah. Answer was staring us right in the face. We get a cultist potion. Bane Plus might not be bad. We've got lots of ways to add poison, and that's 20 damage for 1 energy. Yeah, it's got to be Bane Plus. All right, our other elite of this floor. All right, these guys I think we kind of have answers for. He can buff the shit out of his minions if they stick around too long, but things like die should be a big help here. That probably looks fine. Get all new cards there. We've got 2 unblocked we're looking at right now. So let's just go ahead and blast knife to get rid of bro in front. Neutralize, dagger spray. All right, cool. We get rid of his 2 ads on turn 1. He brings them back soon, but now we get a whole turn of getting the focus out of him, I think. Yes. Would have loved to see a way to get poison before we throw Bane, which maybe we'll draw into with dagger throw. Nope. Necronomicon. So Bane. Finisher hits for 12. All right, they're threatening 17 at us. It's probably fine because we can die. Get a blade dance here. Necronomicon should make this pop off twice. Hit him with the rest of our shivs. $45. All right, but we've got Wraith form here. All right, that's fine. We can take 3 damage. Predator hits off twice with Necronomicon. Bane finishes the job. Alright, Sundial. Every 3 times you shuffle your draw pile, gain 2 energy. I mean, not terribly important for us, but we'll take it. Probably gonna get rid of the artifact potion and replace it with Essence of Steel. Yeah, we'll take a catalyst. Then I'll rest yet again. Haven't been able to upgrade a single card yet, just because I haven't felt good about our health situation through the whole run. Gosh, I can't even recall if I faced this guy yet since I've been playing on this save file. We can get rid of all of that. Okay, yeah, this is a much better hand. Let's start with that to maybe draw into some poison. No, unfortunately not. Get rid of the strike. Predator fires twice. Yeah, we can deal with 3 damage here. Actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and drink the cultist potion. Too early to Wraith form, especially since we're blocking a good chunk of that already. Let's go ahead and throw the 4-plated armor down. Now I feel like we don't even need to block anything else here this turn. This is a lot of cards. Dagger throw. Get rid of the defend. Start to get some poison on them. Okay, I'm fine with that. $19 is a lot to think about. But we can throw some weak on him and make that a little bit less. Yeah, let's do that. And Bane hits twice because you're poisoned. These both just deal 7 damage. But we can do this. We can strike. Pull the shivs into our hand. And now this is going to do 7 times 5, so that's what, like 35 damage? Oh, but it costs. Damn it. Okay. I messed up the math order there. Oh well. Got away with misplays against Slime Boss. Let's see if we can get away with misplays against this guy. Okay, this will work though. I know. We have enough to play Predator, which fires off twice, into Blade Dance. And now this does fire off for 40. All right, neutralized. Probably dagger throw for the card draw. Still gonna dagger throw for the card draw. Got poison stacked up a little higher because Catalyst should be coming back around soon. Alright, he gains 6 strength. 50. 50 is a big attack, you know that, dude? Throw Bane at you. Survivor. Get rid of a strike. Throw up another. Defend. Alright, so we're gonna take 30 here. That hurts. But now we get a brief reprieve. right, he's probably gonna threaten a big damage number this turn. No, only 25, so any amount of block will take care of him. But we might be able to finish him off here. So we can Blade Dance. All right, moving along still. We get a block potion. Oh wow. These are 3 fantastic cards. What are our options to burst? What would be some good skills to burst? We probably don't actually have very many awesome skills to burst. But Corpse Explosion, there's lots of good fun to be had with Corpse Explosion, especially Corpse Explosion and Catalyst. We could go absolutely crazy with potions with Alchemize, but that's a little harder to control. All right, Astrolabe, upon pickup, transform 3 cards, then upgrade them. We might Astrolabe. Sacred Bark, double the effectiveness of potions. That's fun because we get potions all the time. Gain energy at the start of your turn. You can no longer smith at rest sites. We haven't really been smithing, but it would be nice to smith at rest sites. This is probably a good Astrolabe deck. And the choices for that are probably going to be a strike, 2 strikes, and a defend. Okay. We can do a second Catalyst, and a Bouncing Flask isn't the best poison card, but we're starting to get a lot of poison at this point. All right, 4-3. Did not really think we were going to make it here tonight. This has been the clumsiest run I can remember in a long time. But yeah, here we are. I'm going to go with this column to kind of play into that early shop. I also spy a lot of elites over here. Appreciate seeing a few viewers right now. Feel free to say hi in chat. I'm always happy to interact with chatters, or not. You can just watch too. That's fine by me. Always get rid of the Writhe. What does Distraction do? That's stupid. It's free though, so I'll keep it in my hand. All right, lots of choices here. I guess we'll start with the Distraction. Free Storm of Steel. Discard your hand, add a Shiv into your hand for each card discarded. I mean, we'll do that at the end of the turn. Bouncing Flask. Predator fires off twice with the Necronomicon, but Corpse Explosion gets that poison stacked on faster, so we'll probably do that. Die is more damage. All right, cool. We don't need to do either of those. Let's dagger throw first to see if we can stack that poison up more. We can. All right, so let's double your poison, triple your poison. You're dead, man. Okay, so clearly the double catalyst thing can work well in theory here. Oops. My sound is freaking out bad right now. Okay, seems to have fixed itself. I don't know if that came through on the stream or if that was just my monitor. Reflex might be good. But, I mean, we haven't really had a problem with card draw, and I don't want to bloat the deck. We're already at 30 cards. Okay, good to know the audio sounded good. OBS, when you're monitoring the capture card, like lags behind a little bit. I think it's just on my monitor. All right, I think that's probably the move here. Distraction. Blaze. We'll throw the crippling cloud down to stack poison on everybody. They're threatening how much damage at us now? 18, 27. I'll just use the block potion to handle that. We'll dagger spray. Die. Do this. And toss a shiv at, I guess, the back guy. All right, let's bouncing flask. We catalyst you. Front two will both die this turn. Then we've just got one turn to throw like any old attack at the guy in back. All right, we're kind of actually cooking now. Our floor 1 and floor 2 were horrible. But floor 3 has not been bad so far. There's 3 catalysts too many. I don't think it is. I don't think it is in this instance. Is it worth getting another poison source in there? Well, let's take a look down here first. Captain's Wheel would be really funny because we've got Anchor already, which gives us 10 block on the start of turn 1. And then we've got the Horn Cleat, which gives us 14 block on the start of turn 2. And then we'd have the Captain's Wheel, which gives us 18 block on turn 3. That gives us 3 turns every single combat that we don't have to think about blocking, really. That's probably the move. In fact, yeah, before I think about that any harder, we're just going to go with it. All right, get rid of the Writhe. Probably do want some amount of block. Get rid of the Blade Dance. Backflip can probably be that some amount of block for us. All right, so we've got options here. Let's start with the Crippling Cloud and triple that poison. No, I'm gonna go ahead and just use Predator here. And we'll take a little bit of damage. The trade-off is we'll probably take care of this guy in a turn or two. All right, let's double your poisons. Now it's at 40. Dagger spray. Poison stab. We should have poison stab before we doubled, but it's negligible difference. All right, he should die to poison basically next turn. Silly. None of this was necessary, but I like seeing the poison numbers stack high. So he was at 66 poison, and we still had like another catalyst available to us if that had kept going. Stilled Chaos. Probably add a second Bane. 20 damage for 1 mana is really good. And at this point, we're just fully a poison deck, right? Yeah, we'll lose 45 gold for the red mask. What's that, like strength at the... No, it's weak to everybody at the start of each combat. That's great. All right, this dude, what, he swaps between intangible and not every other turn, right? Let's do that. Would have loved to get a poison source, but we didn't unless we draw into it with dagger throw. No. Alright, so this is just die, bane, bane. But actually, this is a good use case for a swift potion. No, it's not. If we had energy, it would have been. Probably get away with using the distilled chaos now, though, to make room for whatever potion we get. Is this for a reward? No, that didn't really help us at all. Except it makes next turn's draw better, because those cards wouldn't have been what we want for next turn. 46, that's a lot, man. So we're gonna draw. At least that finally starts poison on him, right? Oh, we can backflip. I think probably Survivor. Get rid of the dagger spray. Poke and dagger. This is a big attack. We need to block it. All right, 24, but we're already blocking 18. We've also got Wraith Form as an option. I'll probably start with dagger throw for the card draw to see what we have. I'll get rid of a strike. Let's do that. Now we do an exact full block. Hopefully draw back around into some of the catalysts now. Which we did not. All right, we take 10 here. $34. God. This is not going good. He's threatening lethal damage. At least we have a defend in our hand. Dagger throw into Wraith Form. We have to play that. All right, that hits twice with Necronomicon. Take 2 burn, 1 from him. But at least we're through him. We're limping through. God, here's all of our catalysts. Yeah, it would have been really nice to be able to do that earlier. God, but he's intangible, so he only took 1 from that. Okay. 16 health. 16 health. Question card. Future card rewards have 1 additional card to choose from. Flex potion. We're skipping these. At least we can immediately heal up. Who are we possibly fighting? Donu and Deka if we can get there. Triple jaw worm. Yeah, we'll do that. Okay. If I do this right, we should be able to just take care of them, right? Because we can cast Corpse Explosion on you. Then we can Bouncing Flask. Cool, that does hit you. And then we can triple your poison. I got 27 poison on you. Alright, so we're gonna take a hit for 12 here. But the trade-off is that these guys are basically toast. Ouch. And the poison should just do the job here on all of them. Alright, regen potion, what's that do? Gain 5 regen, heals HP at the end of your turn. Okay, good. We're gonna need to use that at the very start of this next encounter. None of these help us. The next encounter is an elite too, which is tricky. Oops. But if we go over here, we can avoid combats the rest of the way. So we know normal combats aren't going to appear in the question marks. I think elites still can, but... Start each combat with 1 dex. Alright, it's Big Head. Let's get rid of you. You, and you. Okay, cool. Bouncing Flask. I'm also going to go ahead and Flex Potion. Just get the most damage here as possible on turn 1. Catalyst triples you to 45 poison right off the bat. We can Blade Dance, get a little more damage. All right, let's do Crippling Cloud, Bane. None of those help us at all this turn. It's fine though, 51 poison. Oh, we should be hopefully drawing into more catalysts here. Yeah, there's a regular catalyst at least. So let's do that. Gets your poison up to 100. Let's backflip. Also, dagger throw. Get rid of you. All right, that's a big chunk of his health at once. Yeah, that's 300 poison stacked on him. All right. Bag of preparation at the start of each combat. Draw 2 additional cards. That's awesome, considering we also get to get rid of any cards in our opening hand that we don't like. Every deck can use a prepared plus. Yeah, we're just gonna, I think, probably stick away from combats. Except maybe... No, we'll go over to the left here eventually to try and snag that extra rest site. If we can get to Donu and Deco with a reasonable amount of health at all, I like our chances. Another Writhe, but we'd heal. I'm fine with that, honestly. We also gain more max health. All right, free upgrade. Probably our only unupgraded catalyst. We can rest one more time here. We're at full health again, miraculously. This guy kind of sucks. Get rid of you. Yeah, I think that's correct. Would have loved to draw into Wraith form or gosh. Can't even think of the other card I'm thinking of right now. Piercing Whale, but we didn't. It's distraction and see what it gets us. Free expertise, draw cards until you have 6 in your hand. About that. Let's start with a backflip. All right, we can start to stack poison right away here. Crippling Cloud is better for the weak. Now we just want to Catalyst and probably take that 14 to the face, right? Yeah, that's got to be correct. Actually, with this guy, he eventually runs away, so I should just be prioritizing block. But I think that there's the outside chance we can kill him. No, I should have just been prioritizing surviving. Let's neutralize. Gosh, Swift Potion. Let's prepared. Get rid of, I guess probably the glass knife. Oh, I gotta discard 2. No, we'll do that. Wraith form or Piercing Whale? Piercing Whale makes more sense here. Is that down to 30? We can still Wraith form, but that would be silly, I think. No, I think it's still smart. We should have Wraith formed instead of Piercing Whale. I thought Piercing Whale was going to draw his attack down a little lower than it did. All right, the goal is now survive 3 more turns. We do get to give him a shitload of poison, though. Alright, so we're no longer intangible, and he's threatening an assload of damage. We don't have a lot that we can do about it, do we? helps a little tiny bit. Expertise might get us some more block cards. It does. Gosh, that's gonna be a big hit. Okay. No, it actually brings him down to 0 because his damage goes down every time he takes damage, and he takes the poison before his turn starts. That's a new interaction that I learned, and I like to learn it. So now let's dagger throw. Oops. I'll get rid of the writhe. We can blade dance, throw a bunch of shivs at his face. That hits for a fair amount. Yeah, he runs away. We almost killed him outright. Alright, we don't need any of these. Hey, look at that. We finally get to upgrade our first card here. And it's got to be Wraith form. Well, we've made it. Alright, get rid of all those curses, obviously. Is that 11 times 2 coming from Deca? We can pretty much ignore that. So we just really want to try and set up the whole poison thing, right? Yeah, so let's... Oops. Corpse Explosion on Deca. Bouncing Flask. Triple Deca's poison. May as well drink that and see what we get. Oh, we'll use Free Predator, absolutely. And now pass the turn. Alright, so now we're gonna neutralize, Wraith form, catalyze Deca again. I should have poison stabbed him first, but whatever. Alright, Catalyst on Deca one more time. That's Donu and Deca. All right, fell ass backwards into a decent poison deck by the end there. Man, at no point did I feel confident about winning until basically we did. I mean, I knew we had Donu and Deca with that Corpse Explosion, triple Catalyst. It was just like getting to them was the question, right? So shockingly, we get to go to 5-0 with 104 days left until Slay the Spire 2. And we get to climb the Silent up to Ascension 4 tomorrow. So it's late. I really need to get to bed. I'm really excited about that win. I think that I played pretty well when I wasn't making blatantly obvious mistakes there. I think that was a tricky seed, and we pulled it out in the end.